Hey y'all, I got my cheap shirt on, my cheap rompers on. Let's see if you can see that. And I'm going all out cheap. I just thought I'd give you an update what's going on around here. Um, Been doing quite a bit of work around this place. It keep me occupied, and a lot of it I should have shot video on it. One of the things I started shooting video on it, and then I lost my desire to shoot video on it. I'll tell you about that here in a minute. But here, let me show you what's going on around here. A friend of mine, he's brought me one load of logs already. No, that's two loads right there. He's got a little tiny 1.5 ton dump truck, and loads it up there. And these logs are 12 to 15 feet long, Doug fir. And he's got 3 more of these loads coming. He dumps it right in the road on out here, and then I got to wiggle them and work them with the tractor to get them on up. And that's all the higher I can lift them with my little tractor, just 2 logs high. And something that I did here is I decided to use these logs here, so I can put 2 or 3 logs on top of this here saw logs. And at this end here of these 2 butt logs here, I'm going to take the chainsaw and I'm going to cut an angle on it, so it'll be easier for me to roll the logs up on there for my little tractor, so we don't have to lift that much. And on these ends of the logs, I'm going to cut a flat spot with the chainsaw, so I can drop like a 4x6 right on over there to the tracks. So I'll just be able to roll the logs right on there in place, and I'll be able to get 2 or 3 logs on here and still set my forks on top of the logs here. And when I'm cutting, I'll be able to cut the boards and stick them right on the fork. So that'll work out for me. Then over here, I've been doing some cleaning, and I tell you what, I mean, between some of the stuff I've been doing, when I was brushing this year on out, cleaning all the wood up that was in here, I was going to move those redwood logs. No, those redwood, I can't see that far. No, that's incense cedar. I was going to move those, but I'll worry about that later. But over here, he's got 3 more loads, so I'm going to stack the rest of the logs right through this area here. You know, I'll set 2 logs for runners to stack them on and stuff. And there's a bunch of the stuff that I moved on over here. This will be all cut up into firewood. Some of it's pretty good stuff, some of it's oak. And this is that pin oak that I got from a friend down in Springfield. I got to run that stuff on the sawmill. I'm thinking about the shorter runs there, making possibly for the house, possibly making hardwood flooring. We'll see about that. Anyway, instead of you looking at this junk, let's see what else we got going here. Let's spin you on around. Okay, I've done a lot on the tiering the garden. One of the things with my garden was when I'd rototill, you know, going sideways or down, up and downhill, it was constantly, the good soil was always shifting down low, and always had a bunch of rocky clay up on top that I was messing with, have to build up constantly. So now I got it tiered and it's fairly flat. I'm going to be working on working something around this bank to retain it, and you know, cut the logs on in to clear over to this road. That goes up to a skidding road up there. But I'll put a retainer there, and we'll walk on up here. When I was cleaning out this lower part down here, there was that's underneath a bunch of maple trees and stuff. So a bunch of maple dirt. Now there's going to be bark and stuff I got to pick on out of it, but I went ahead and scraped it on up and drug it up here for this upper part of the garden. You can see that this soil here is really good rich soil on this one here. Some chunks, but I mean, it's really good rich soil, and so is this one here. Not quite as good as the first bay. This bay here, you can see the difference in color, a lot lighter in color. But here I got that's what I scraped off the ground from down there. I'll have to pick through it. I'll spread this on out to give it this clay ground. See if you can see what we got going here. This is the type of dirt I got up here. So I got to get some organic material in it. Right here, I got a huge boulder. And it's at that point I either got to rotor hammer this boulder down, or put a flower pot on it because it's too big for me to dig up. Already tried that. Then I started blazing a trail up here. I want to switch up, cut a trail up to the back of my property there. And it's going to take a few years probably for me to work it. But I'm going to blaze some trails going up through there, through that brush, and start using the land up there. I'm hoping to get goats, and I want access up there to be able to stake them on out. But here's the downhill side. And man, I'll tell you what. The reason why that's a second. The reason why I didn't film doing the tiers, I started out filming it, but when I was putting this log in down here, right there, yeah, there was a chicken on the other side of it, and I couldn't see it. Didn't know it was there. And I would move the log slow, but it got trapped underneath it, and that took all my thrill of shooting a video for y'all. It just bummed me out, so I shut the camera off and buried the chicken on out here. I could have probably eaten it, but in that situation, I didn't want to. So I got him buried out here. It was a hen. But that's why I didn't video any of that. I tell you what, I can eat my chickens. I don't like to butcher them, or I don't mind the butchering. I don't like the taking their lives. That part sucks. But when it was something that was not planned at all, that even sucks even worse. So that's what's happening around here. Oh, you can see on the other side of the garden, a bunch of more alder trees that I took on out there were leaning on over. And let's see if I can point out one of them. I hadn't noticed it this last winter, but pretty sure it's from this last winter. But one of them was struck by lightning. You know, I mean, it's kind of surprised me. But I don't know if I'll be able to see it. I identify it now in this brush. Or maybe I already pulled one of it. Maybe it's what I used for a sticker over there underneath some of those logs over there. We'll see here. It ain't much of a lightning strike. But you see that black streak going down this log right here. And we'll go over to this other side. It kind of spiraled around it some. Let's see here. Right here. You can see it even cracked the bark here where it split when it struck. You know, I mean, kind of weird. And that was right over there. We'll see where that stump is sticking on up. That piece of alder. I'll give you, there's the chicken coop right there. And it was more than 20 feet from the chicken coop. You know, but it struck right to the left of this all the stuff that's sticking up where these other stuff, that other stuff is, the roots and stuff. And of course, I got to show you what's happened to the tractor and all this. So I'm going to show you what Kubota Tough is all about. Well, this doesn't have nothing to do with Kubota Tough, but these back tires are calcium filled. And I don't know what happened, but notice all of a sudden it started leaking bad. So yeah, they said the tube was torn somehow. Now the tube must have shifted for it to tear. That's not on Kubota, but anyway, yeah, the tube was shifted and it ripped the lining at the valve stem. They said it must have gotten a little bit low. But anyway, so there went $50. And then we'll go on here. Now you can see on this tire, front tire here, I don't know what this one cost. I'm not too worried about it, but you see that gash right there? You see that? I don't know what I did. It is bulged in a little bit, but not bad. But probably when I was cutting that trail over there, probably ripped it on a rock, or when I was moving the logs around. I tell you what, this thing is, it squats almost down to the rim, so I might have been squatting on it. It might have been the rim that cut that, but it don't look like a rim cut to me. I think I ripped it with the sidewall on a rock. But then pulling an alder tree down, Well, things didn't quite go as planned, and I wish I'd have got that on video. But I broke this lens on there. Well, you know what? When you're using a farm tractor for logging, what do you expect? I've always told you guys that I abuse this thing, and I mean it. I abuse it. I bought this thing to work it, to do the things that I can't do. And then also, I caught this when I was cutting that trail. I caught it on some branches, and it popped this loose, so I just taped it back on there, and it kind of somewhat cracked this connection right here. But outside of that, man, I'll tell you what, this tractor is a dream. It looks old and beat up, and it's only like 6 years old, but this tractor is old and beat up. I mean, it's like 6 years old, and there ain't nobody that abuses a tractor like me. Not a little farm tractor. I mean, this is like a little garden tractor, a little yard tractor, and I'm moving those logs with it. We'll show you one more thing that we got going here that I did this week too. This is that buck that we harvested down at the base of my driveway, roadkill. And you can see there's got to be some on the rib cage down here. That's going to be bloodshot. I'm going to have to cut some of that away. But for the most part, he's in good shape. You know, might be a little bit of bloodshot in the upper end of the back strap right in here. But could be a bit of meat on there. And that's where we're at with that. Well, that's the update what's going on around here. I got my habanero, about 50 habanero plants started. I got 11 Carolina Reapers that have sprouted. 4 more I'm hoping will sprout, but we'll see. If not, 11 will be, I'm sure 11 will give me plenty of hot peppers. And I got half my tomatoes started. I got to get to plant some more, but anyway, folks, if the girls can't find you handsome like me, they can find you handy like me. And if they don't find you handy like me, well, just pray that they find you. Y'all come back now here. Bye!